Greetings, seekers of wisdom. Today we explore a topic that is rarely discussed but deeply impactful: recognizing when someone dislikes you, even if they hide it. But as always, we approach this with the wisdom of Stoicism. We observe without judgment, we acknowledge without reacting, and we protect our peace above all. The Stoics taught that the opinions of others are beyond our control. Whether someone holds us in contempt or admiration, it remains external to our core self. But still, knowing when someone harbors negative feelings can be a tool for preserving our inner tranquility. It allows us to tread carefully, respond wisely, and protect our well-being. So, let's explore these 7 signs, keeping in mind that the goal is not to judge or retaliate, but to understand and stay rooted in our own calm. And if this wisdom resonates with you, type in the comments below. True peace lies in understanding, not reacting. Let's walk this path together, grounded in wisdom and self-control. Sign 1. A subtle shift in body language. Our first sign is a subtle shift in body language, something often overlooked but deeply telling. In Stoicism, much emphasis is placed on reading the world accurately without unnecessary assumptions. Body language speaks when words are silent, revealing what lies beneath the surface of polite conversation. Consider the wisdom of Epictetus, who taught that while we may observe the actions of others, we should refrain from assuming their intentions or allowing these actions to disturb our peace. If someone leans away when you approach, if their arms close across their chest as a shield, or if they place objects between you and them, it may signal discomfort or even hidden hostility. Yet, a true Stoic would ask, "What is within my control here? Only my response." We are called not to interpret these movements as insults, but as reflections of the other's inner state. By observing without attachment, we protect ourselves from needless distress. If they feel uneasy, it is their journey, not yours. The narrator reflects on a personal experience, making the lesson more relatable. I once encountered a colleague who would subtly turn away whenever I spoke. For a while, I wondered if I had wronged him. But through Stoic practice, I learned to let go of the need for approval and to anchor myself in self-knowledge. I realized that his discomfort was his own, and it need not disrupt my inner peace. I observed, noted, and then released it. Let each encounter remind you that your sense of self is grounded in reason, not in others' reactions. Observe the body language, but remain detached. In this way, you master the art of discernment without disturbance. Sign 2. Avoidance of eye contact. Eye contact is a powerful element of human interaction. It signifies openness, honesty, and connection. When someone avoids looking you in the eyes, it could be a sign of discomfort or even concealed dislike. However, Stoic wisdom guides us to observe without taking it personally. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, teaches us to consider the motivations and struggles of others. When someone refuses to meet your gaze, it may have little to do with you. Perhaps they wrestle with their own doubts or insecurities. Maybe they carry burdens we cannot see. Their avoidance is a shield, a defense. Stoicism calls for compassion in the face of avoidance. Instead of feeling slighted, try to meet their actions with understanding. Avoid assuming malice. Instead, accept that every person is on their own path. Maybe they dislike you, maybe not. Either way, your own peace is your responsibility. Think of Socrates, who faced open hostility and criticism, yet never allowed others' reactions to disturb his tranquility. Even when his opponents avoided his gaze, he maintained his poise, meeting their evasion with calm curiosity and a steady resolve. Hold their gaze if possible, with kindness, and if they avert their eyes, do not chase after their approval. Remain rooted in your own integrity, for it is not their validation that grants you worth, but your own awareness of your actions and character. Sign 3. Consistent, subtle criticism. Stoic narrator. Sometimes someone's hidden dislike may reveal itself in subtle criticism, remarks that seem small but carry a pointed edge. This kind of critique may seem insignificant at first, but it can slowly erode your confidence if left unchecked. Yet, as a Stoic, we learn to be impervious to such provocations. Seneca reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. If you are constantly analyzing others' opinions of you, then you're surrendering your peace to forces outside your control. When faced with subtle criticism, consider whether there's any truth in their words. If so, use it to improve. If not, let it pass through you, untouched by your inner defenses. When someone points out a minor flaw, smile and thank them, whether or not you agree. The Stoic way is not to dismiss or argue, but to listen thoughtfully. If there's wisdom in their words, you gain from it. If not, it will fall away on its own. In my youth, I had a mentor who, perhaps out of some hidden resentment, would often find fault in my work. I took his words to heart, but only as lessons. Over time, I recognized his own insecurities woven into his feedback. I learned that my worth was not defined by his critiques, but by my commitment to improve, and by my fidelity to my values. Accept criticism gracefully, but remain anchored in your own self-worth. The power of Stoicism lies in self-mastery. Let their opinions pass through, and let only what serves your growth remain. Sign 4. Exclusion from group activities. When someone dislikes you, they may subtly exclude you from group activities or social interactions. This exclusion can feel painful, isolating, but remember, exclusion is an opportunity to deepen our independence and resilience. Marcus Aurelius often wrote to himself about loneliness, reminding himself that one can still thrive in solitude. He understood that being left out is not a reflection of our value, but rather a reflection of others' choices. We must not let our worth depend on inclusion or social validation. When you find yourself excluded, use that time to reflect and grow. Cultivate a relationship with yourself that is unshakable. Take comfort in knowing that the Stoic way values solitude as a path to inner strength. Consider Diogenes, who in his solitude found greater freedom and wisdom than many who were surrounded by friends. When people ignored or dismissed him, he did not beg for their acceptance. He simply carried on with his purpose, unfazed by their approval or disdain. Exclusion is merely an invitation to turn inward, to find strength in your own company. Embrace it, and know that your worth lies not in others' validation, but in your own journey toward wisdom and self-contentment. Sign 5. Sarcasm in place of genuine praise. Sometimes those who dislike us disguise their disdain as sarcasm, a compliment that is more bite than balm. When praise is laced with sarcasm, it reveals a subtle contempt. Stoic wisdom teaches us to remain unaffected by others' words, whether they praise us or mock us. If someone's words feel sharp, take a moment to breathe and consider, are their words worth the weight of your reaction? Sarcasm often reflects their own inner turmoil, not your worth. I recall a time when someone praised me with a backhanded compliment. I smiled and thanked them, but inside, I reminded myself of Seneca's words. It is not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. I chose to remain steady, letting their sarcasm reveal only itself, not disrupting my peace. Treat sarcasm as an echo of others' emotions, not a reflection of your own worth. Your power lies in observing without absorbing. In this way, you stand tall, rooted in your own self-assurance, untouched by the shifting tones of others. Sign 6. Lack of enthusiasm. When you succeed, dislike can also manifest as indifference toward your success. When someone downplays your achievements or reacts with coldness to your joy, it reveals their struggle to celebrate you. Epictetus teaches us that envy is a reflection of the envious, not the envied. If someone cannot celebrate your growth, let their reaction be their concern, not yours. Instead, Use it as a reminder that your journey is yours alone, and its fulfillment need not rely on others' applause. When I achieved a significant goal, I noticed some were silent, even dismissive. Initially, it stung, but then I remembered, I seek growth for its own sake, not for the approval of others. In that realization, I found freedom. Celebrate your own successes, for in Stoicism we find joy in our own progress, not in others' recognition. Let their lack of enthusiasm inspire greater self-contentment. Sign 7. Passive-aggressive behavior. Finally, passive aggression, the disguised hostility in seemingly harmless words or actions. This behavior may be subtle, but it can easily disturb our peace if we're not careful. A Stoic must not fall into the trap of reacting to passive aggression. Recognize it for what it is, a sign of the other's struggle, not a reflection of you. Passive aggression often stems from unresolved tension, and we must be wise enough not to mirror it. I once worked with someone whose kindness felt laced with venom. But through Stoic practice, I learned to see their behavior as a reflection of their inner discord. By remaining calm, I found that their words lost their sting. In moments of passive aggression, stay grounded. Respond with clarity and firmness, not with anger. Let their struggle be theirs, while you remain steady in your own peace.